Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome back to our channel, where we make learning English fun, inspiring, and life-changing. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the world of habits, those tiny, everyday actions that have the power to shape your entire life. Whether you're here to master English, improve yourself, or discover the secrets to success, you've come to the right place. So, stick around, because this is going to be a journey worth taking. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this one. Why habits matter. The foundation of success. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like success is a matter of luck, talent, or some kind of magic? Well, here's the truth. It's not. Success, whether it's in learning English or achieving any goal, is built on the foundation of habits. Habits are the quiet, consistent forces working in the background of your life, shaping who you are and who you'll become. Imagine this. Every day, you make countless tiny decisions, from what to eat to how you spend your free time. These decisions, when repeated over time, become your habits. And your habits, they become your life. If you choose to spend 15 minutes a day practicing English, you're building a habit that will lead to fluency. If you choose to spend that time mindlessly scrolling social media, well, you're building a very different kind of habit. The point is, your habits are the building blocks of your future, whether you're aware of them or not. Let's make it even simpler. Habits are like planting seeds. If you plant an apple seed and take care of it, you'll eventually get an apple tree. But if you plant a thorn bush, don't expect mangoes. The habits you cultivate today will determine what kind of results you reap tomorrow. It's all about intentionality. Are your daily habits leading you closer to your goals, or are they keeping you stuck? Now, you might be wondering, but why do habits matter so much? Here's the thing. Habits compound over time. Small actions, repeated consistently, lead to massive results. Think of it like this. If you improve your English skills by just 1% every day, that doesn't seem like much at first. But over a year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. That's the power of small, consistent improvements, and it's why habits are so crucial. Let me share a quick example. Take learning English. A lot of people try to cram everything at once, spending hours learning grammar rules or memorizing hundreds of words in one sitting. But this approach often leads to burnout and frustration. On the other hand, if you commit to practicing just 10 minutes a day, you're far more likely to stick with it. Over time, those 10 minutes add up, and before you know it, you're having conversations in English without even thinking about it. Habits also eliminate the need for constant decision-making. Let's face it, willpower is limited. Some days, you won't feel like practicing English. But if it's a habit, you'll do it anyway, without needing to muster up motivation. It becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth. This is one of the biggest advantages of habits. They take the burden off your mind and make progress feel effortless. Let's talk about identity for a moment. One of the most powerful aspects of habits is how they shape your sense of self. Every time you practice English, you're not just learning a language. You're reinforcing the belief that you're someone who is committed to growth and self-improvement. Over time, this belief becomes part of your identity. You start to see yourself as a person who takes action, who values learning, and who follows through on their goals. And when you see yourself this way, you're more likely to keep going, even when things get tough. But building good habits isn't always easy, right? That's where the environment comes in. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your habits. For example, if you surround yourself with English resources, like setting your phone's language to English, following English-speaking YouTube channels, or keeping a notebook for new vocabulary, you make it easier to stick to your habit. On the flip side, if your environment is full of distractions, it becomes much harder to stay consistent. So, take a moment to assess your surroundings. Are they helping you build the habits you want? If not, what small changes can you make to set yourself up for success? Another thing to keep in mind is tracking your habits. There's something incredibly motivating about seeing your progress in black and white. You can use a notebook, an app, or even a simple calendar to track your daily English practice. The act of tracking not only keeps you accountable, but also gives you a sense of accomplishment. Every small win builds momentum, and that momentum keeps you moving forward. Now, let's address the inevitable setbacks. Yes, there will be days when you miss a practice session or feel like you're not making progress. But here's the thing, missing one day won't ruin everything. What matters is consistency over the long term. If you stumble, don't beat yourself up. Just get back on track the next day. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up more often than not. Habits matter because they're the foundation of everything else you want to achieve. They're not just routines. They're a way of life. When you build habits that align with your goals, you create a system for success that works even when you don't feel like it. So, start small. Choose one habit you want to build, whether it's practicing English for 5 minutes a day, reading one page of a book, or listening to an English podcast during your commute. Commit to it, and watch how it transforms not just your English skills, but your entire approach to life. And remember, this is just the beginning. We've got 4 more exciting sections to dive into, each packed with actionable tips and insights to help you succeed. So, stick around, because the best is yet to come. Daily English practice. Simple steps to mastery. Daily English practice is where the magic happens. If you're serious about learning English, daily practice is non-negotiable. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be overwhelming or boring. In fact, with the right approach, it can be fun, manageable, and incredibly rewarding. Let's break it down into simple, actionable steps that will help you make consistent progress every single day. First, let's address the importance of consistency. Think about it. If you go to the gym once a month, you won't see much progress, right? The same applies to learning English. It's the small, consistent efforts that lead to mastery over time. Even practicing for just 10 to 15 minutes a day can have a massive impact, especially when you focus on quality rather than quantity. Daily practice keeps the language fresh in your mind and helps you build momentum. The key is to make it a habit, something you do automatically without even thinking about it. Now let's talk about variety. One of the biggest mistakes people make is sticking to just one method of learning. For example, some people only focus on grammar rules, while others only listen to English podcasts. But the truth is, language learning is like a puzzle. You need all the pieces to complete the picture. So, mix it up. Spend one day reading a short story, the next day practicing speaking, and another day watching an English movie or TV show. By engaging with the language in different ways, you'll not only keep things interesting, but also strengthen your overall understanding. A great way to start your daily practice is with reading. Reading helps you expand your vocabulary, improve your grammar, and get a feel for how sentences are structured. But here's the trick. Don't overwhelm yourself with complex texts. Start with graded readers or children's books if you're a beginner. These are designed to be easy to understand while still exposing you to natural English. As you get more comfortable, you can move on to news articles, blogs, or even novels. The goal is to challenge yourself just enough to grow without getting frustrated. Next, let's move on to listening. Listening is one of the most effective ways to improve your comprehension and pronunciation. And guess what? You're spoiled for choice. From podcasts and audiobooks to YouTube videos and movies, there's no shortage of English content out there. Start by choosing topics that interest you. This could be anything from self-improvement and cooking to travel or technology. When you're genuinely interested in what you're listening to, you're more likely to stay engaged and absorb the language naturally. One tip for listening practice: don't just passively listen. Try to actively engage with the content. For example, if you're watching a video, pause and repeat sentences to practice pronunciation. If you're listening to a podcast, write down new words or phrases and look them up later. You can even try shadowing, which involves mimicking the speaker as closely as possible to improve your accent and rhythm. The more you actively engage, the faster you'll improve. Speaking is another crucial component of daily practice. But let's be real, this is the part that intimidates most people. You might worry about making mistakes, sounding silly, or not finding the right words. But here's the thing, mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. In fact, they're proof that you're trying. So, don't let fear hold you back. Find opportunities to speak English every day, whether it's with a language partner, a friend, or even yourself. Yes, you read that right. You can practice speaking with yourself. Self-talk is a fantastic way to build confidence and fluency. For example, describe your day out loud in English or talk about your plans for the weekend. You can also record yourself and listen back to identify areas for improvement. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, and before you know it, you'll be speaking English with ease. Now, let's discuss writing. Writing is often overlooked, but it's a powerful way to reinforce what you've learned and organize your thoughts in English. Start small by keeping a daily journal. Write a few sentences about your day, your goals, or your thoughts on a particular topic. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on expressing yourself. Over time, you'll notice improvements in your grammar, vocabulary, and ability to structure sentences. Another important aspect of daily practice is setting specific, measurable goals. Instead of saying, "I want to improve my English," break it down into smaller, actionable steps. For example, you could set a goal to learn 5 new words a day, watch 1 English video, or complete a short grammar exercise. Having clear goals gives you a sense of direction and makes it easier to track your progress. Finally, make it fun. The more you enjoy the process, the more likely you are to stick with it. Incorporate English into your hobbies and interests. Love cooking? Watch recipes in English. Enjoy music. Listen to English songs and learn the lyrics. A fan of video games? Play games with English dialogues or interact with other players in English. When you combine learning with something you love, it stops feeling like a chore and becomes a natural part of your day. Daily English practice doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. With a mix of reading, listening, speaking, and writing, along with clear goals and consistent effort, you can make steady progress every single day. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about showing up and taking small steps forward. Keep going, and you'll be amazed at how much you can achieve over time. And this is just the second step in our journey. Stick around as we dive into the next subheading, where we'll explore more actionable strategies to take your English skills to the next level. Stay tuned. Leveraging stories to learn English faster. Leveraging stories to learn English faster is one of the most engaging, effective, and enjoyable methods to master the language. Why? Because stories have a natural way of captivating our attention, sparking curiosity, and making information stick. Whether it's a novel, a short story, or even a children's tale, immersing yourself in a narrative helps you absorb the language effortlessly while enjoying the process. Let's dive into how stories can transform your English learning journey and why they're such a powerful tool. First, let's talk about how stories engage your brain. When you read or listen to a story, you're not just processing words. You're visualizing scenes, connecting with characters, and predicting what happens next. This active engagement helps you retain vocabulary and grammar much more effectively than rote memorization. Unlike a dry list of words or rules, a story creates an emotional connection, making it easier for your brain to recall what you've learned. For instance, imagine you're reading a story about a young boy who overcomes challenges to achieve his dreams. As you follow his journey, you encounter phrases and expressions in context. You see how words are used in real-life situations, which helps you understand their meaning and usage without needing to look them up repeatedly. Over time, these words become part of your vocabulary naturally. Another reason stories are so effective is that they expose you to a wide range of vocabulary and sentence structures. In a single story, you might come across descriptive language, dialogue, idioms, and even specialized terms depending on the setting or topic. This diversity helps you build a well-rounded understanding of the language. For example, a mystery story might introduce you to suspenseful phrases and expressions, while a romantic tale could teach you emotional vocabulary and conversational tones. Let's not forget about grammar. Stories are a goldmine for learning grammar in context. Instead of memorizing rules from a textbook, you see how grammar is applied in real sentences. You learn how to form questions, use different tenses, and connect ideas naturally, just by observing how it's done in the story. This contextual learning is far more effective because it shows you how grammar works in practice, not just in theory. One of the best ways to leverage stories is by choosing material that matches your current level. If you're a beginner, start with children's books or graded readers. These are designed to be simple yet engaging, making them perfect for building confidence. As you progress, you can move on to short stories, novels, or even audiobooks. The key is to challenge yourself just enough to grow without feeling overwhelmed. Speaking of audiobooks, they're an incredible resource for English learners. Listening to a story allows you to hear the rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation of the language. It's like having a private tutor reading to you. Plus, audiobooks give you the flexibility to practice anywhere, whether you're commuting, exercising, or relaxing at home. To make the most of it, try following along with the text while listening. This dual approach strengthens both your listening and reading skills. Don't underestimate the power of repetition when it comes to stories. Reading or listening to the same story multiple times might sound tedious, but it's incredibly beneficial. Each time, you notice something new, whether it's a phrase you missed earlier or a deeper understanding of the plot. Repetition helps cement vocabulary and grammar in your mind, making them second nature over time. To take your learning to the next level, consider retelling stories in your own words. This practice forces you to think in English, recall key details, and use the vocabulary you've learned. You can do this verbally by explaining the story to a friend or recording yourself, or in writing, by summarizing the plot or sharing your thoughts. Retelling stories not only boosts your fluency, but also builds your confidence in expressing yourself. Group activities can also make story-based learning more dynamic. Join a book club, participate in story discussion groups, or connect with a language partner to share and discuss stories. Talking about stories helps you practice speaking, expand your vocabulary, and gain new perspectives. Plus, it's a great way to build connections with other English learners or native speakers. For a modern twist, explore digital storytelling platforms like Wattpad, where you can read stories written by people from around the world. Many of these platforms also allow you to write and share your own stories, which is an excellent way to practice writing in English. You might even get feedback from other users, helping you improve your skills further. Movies and TV shows are another form of storytelling that can accelerate your learning. Watching a movie in English exposes you to conversational language, slang, and cultural nuances. To maximize your learning, turn on subtitles in English so you can match the spoken words with their written form. After watching, discuss the plot, characters, or themes with a friend, or even write a short review. Incorporating storytelling into your daily routine doesn't require a lot of time. Spend 15 to 20 minutes each day reading or listening to a story, and you'll be amazed at the progress you make over weeks and months. The key is to stay consistent and actively engage with the material. Remember, stories are more than just entertainment. They're a gateway to understanding the language, culture, and emotions behind the words. By leveraging stories, you're not just learning English. You're immersing yourself in a world of experiences that make the language come alive. And with that, we've explored the power of storytelling in learning English. But we're only halfway through. Stick around as we move to the next subheading, where we'll discuss even more strategies to enhance your English skills. Stay tuned. Common pitfalls in building learning habits. Building effective learning habits is essential for mastering any skill, including learning English. However, it's easy to fall into certain traps that can hinder your progress. In this section, we'll dive into the common pitfalls learners face when building habits for language mastery and how you can avoid them. Remember, understanding these obstacles is the first step toward overcoming them and creating a sustainable path to success. One of the most significant pitfalls is setting unrealistic goals. Many learners start their journey with lofty expectations, like becoming fluent in a few months or memorizing hundreds of words in a week. While ambition is commendable, setting goals that are too high can lead to frustration and burnout. Language learning is a gradual process, and it's crucial to break your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of saying, "I want to speak fluently in 6 months," aim for something like, "I will learn 10 new words every day," or "I will practice speaking for 15 minutes daily." Another common mistake is inconsistency. Many people start with great enthusiasm, only to lose momentum after a few weeks. This is often due to a lack of routine. Learning a language requires regular practice, even if it's just for 10 to 15 minutes a day. Skipping days or weeks disrupts the habit formation process and slows your progress. To avoid this, integrate your learning into your daily routine. For example, listen to a podcast while commuting, read a short story before bed, or dedicate a fixed time each day to practice speaking. Perfectionism is another major roadblock. Many learners hesitate to speak or write in English because they're afraid of making mistakes. This fear of imperfection can paralyze your progress. Remember, mistakes are not failures. They're opportunities to learn. No one becomes fluent overnight, and even native speakers make errors. Embrace your mistakes as part of the learning process and use them to improve. The more you practice, the better you'll become. Overloading yourself with resources is another trap. With countless apps, books, and courses available, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. While having access to multiple resources is beneficial, trying to use too many at once can lead to confusion and inefficiency. Instead, focus on a few high-quality resources that suit your learning style. For example, if you enjoy interactive learning, choose an app like Duolingo or Babbel. If you prefer structured lessons, stick to a course book. And if you love stories, use graded readers or audiobooks. The key is to stay consistent with your chosen method rather than constantly switching between resources. Procrastination is another common pitfall. Many learners put off practicing because they feel they need the perfect time or environment to start. They might wait until they're less busy, have more energy, or feel more confident. However, there's no such thing as the perfect time. The best way to overcome procrastination is to start small. Commit to just 5 minutes of practice, and you'll often find yourself continuing for much longer. The hardest part is getting started, so focus on building momentum rather than waiting for ideal conditions. Ignoring the importance of review is another mistake. Many learners focus solely on learning new material without revisiting what they've already studied. However, without regular review, it's easy to forget previously learned vocabulary, grammar, and concepts. Make it a habit to review past lessons regularly. You can use flashcards, revisit old exercises, or reread previous stories to reinforce your knowledge. Spaced repetition, a technique where you review material at increasing intervals, is particularly effective for long-term retention. Relying solely on passive learning is another mistake. While watching videos, listening to podcasts, or reading books are valuable activities, they alone won't make you fluent. Active learning, where you actively engage with the material, is essential. For example, instead of just watching a video, take notes on new vocabulary, pause to repeat sentences, or summarize the content in your own words. Similarly, after reading a story, try retelling it to a friend or writing a brief summary. Active engagement helps solidify your knowledge and makes your practice more effective. Neglecting speaking practice is a common pitfall, especially for those who feel shy or lack confidence. Many learners focus on reading and listening, but avoid speaking because they fear making mistakes or sounding foolish. However, speaking is one of the most critical skills for language mastery. The more you practice, the more comfortable and fluent you'll become. Start by speaking to yourself, then gradually move on to language exchange partners, tutors, or conversation groups. Remember, everyone starts as a beginner, and the only way to improve is to practice. Finally, not tracking your progress is a common mistake. Without measuring your improvement, it's hard to stay motivated or identify areas that need more attention. Keep a journal of your learning activities. Note down new words you've learned, and record your speaking practice. Periodically review your progress to see how far you've come. Celebrating small milestones like finishing a book or holding a basic conversation can boost your confidence and keep you on track. By being aware of these common pitfalls and taking proactive steps to avoid them, you can create strong, sustainable learning habits. Remember, building habits is not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Stay patient, stay focused, and keep reminding yourself of the rewards waiting for you at the end of your journey. In the next section, we'll explore how to stay motivated and consistent in your learning journey, ensuring long-term success. Stay tuned. Success stories, real examples of habit-driven growth. Habits shape our destiny, and there's no better way to understand their transformative power than by looking at real success stories. Across the world, countless individuals have leveraged the power of habits to achieve extraordinary growth in their personal and professional lives. These stories are a testament to the fact that small, consistent actions can lead to monumental outcomes. As we conclude our exploration of the role of habits in mastering English and beyond, let's dive into inspiring examples of people who turn their dreams into reality, one habit at a time. One compelling example is that of Akio Morita, the co-founder of Sony Corporation. Morita didn't start with a multinational empire. In fact, he began with a simple dream of creating innovative electronic products. However, he knew that dreams alone wouldn't build Sony. He committed to the habit of daily learning and relentless experimentation. Morita made it a rule to spend a portion of each day learning about emerging technologies, understanding consumer behavior, and refining his products. This habit of disciplined, focused effort not only helped him grow Sony, but also revolutionize the electronics industry. Similarly, consider the story of Malala Yousafzai, the youngest Nobel Prize laureate. Malala's journey is not just one of courage, but also one of habit-driven perseverance. Despite facing unimaginable adversity, she developed a habit of reading and writing daily. She believed in the transformative power of education and made it her mission to learn something new every day, even when she had to fight for the basic right to go to school. Her unwavering commitment to the habit of learning not only empowered her, but also inspired millions around the world to value education. In the realm of sports, Cristiano Ronaldo stands as a living example of how habits can lead to greatness. Ronaldo didn't become one of the greatest footballers of all time solely due to talent. His unmatched discipline and work ethic are rooted in daily habits. From rigorous training sessions to strict dietary routines, every aspect of his life revolves around maintaining peak performance. Ronaldo once said, "Talent without working hard is nothing." His story reminds us that consistent effort, no matter how small, can produce extraordinary results over time. The world of entertainment also offers numerous habit-driven success stories. Take the example of J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before achieving global fame, Rowling faced numerous rejections from publishers. However, she had cultivated the habit of writing every day, no matter how challenging her circumstances were. She often wrote in cafes, juggling her time as a single mother. Her perseverance paid off, and her work eventually became a global phenomenon. Rowling's story underscores the power of persistence and the importance of showing up every day for your dreams. Let's also explore stories of language learners who leveraged habits to master English. Consider a young student in Brazil named Rafael. Like many non-native speakers, Rafael struggled with grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Instead of getting overwhelmed, he decided to develop a simple but effective habit: practicing English for 30 minutes daily. Rafael incorporated language learning into his daily routine by watching English movies with subtitles, listening to podcasts, and practicing speaking with friends. Over time, this small daily habit transformed his proficiency, enabling him to secure a scholarship abroad. Similarly, there's the story of Priya from India, who aspired to improve her English for career advancement. Priya started with a habit of reading one page of an English book every night before bed. Gradually, she expanded this habit to include journaling in English and participating in online discussion forums. These daily practices not only improve her language skills, but also boosted her confidence. Today, she works as a successful corporate trainer, teaching others how to communicate effectively in English. The lesson from all these stories is clear. Success is not about grand gestures, but about the small, consistent actions we take every day. Habits are the building blocks of growth. They give structure to our dreams and provide a roadmap to turn them into reality. Whether it's dedicating 15 minutes daily to practicing English or committing to learning one new skill each month, the key lies in consistency and focus. As we bring this journey to a close, let's reflect on what we've learned. Habits matter because they shape who we are and who we become. Building effective habits, like daily English practice or leveraging stories, accelerates learning and helps us achieve our goals. Avoiding common pitfalls and staying consistent ensures that our efforts yield results. And perhaps most importantly, real-life success stories remind us that no matter where we start, we have the power to create a better future through deliberate, habit-driven actions. So, as you embark on your own journey, remember that every small step counts. Whether you're learning English, pursuing a career goal, or simply trying to improve yourself, habits are your most reliable companions. Start today, stay consistent, and believe in the process. Your efforts may seem small now, but over time, they will compound into something extraordinary. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share your thoughts and comments. What habits are you building to achieve your dreams? Let's grow together, one habit at a time. See you in the next video.